Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private server. We are with Silver Phoenix, our martial arts scrapper, who's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths of the way between level 34 and 35. We're in the middle of a story arc about the Freak Show, and this is Drek is the villain, I think. So we were a bit too late to save Mike Schwartzwald, but there's this guy Joe Baker who has some information. So he told us to meet him here. He works for the Cray, but I have the feeling we're going to be fighting a lot of freak shows, and there they are. Alright, so as I showed last mission, last episode, these guys are much easier now than they were, and they're much easier than the Circle of Thorns. They just don't have the ability to do anything to me the way the Circle of Thorns do. Now, the Cray have a little bit more ability because they do have some buffers and debuffers. But what's happening now with the Freak Show is basically all they do is straight damage and some mez. And the mez doesn't do anything to me, and they don't hit me often enough to do enough damage to me to bother me. What the Circle and the Cray do is they buff and debuff. Right? They buff themselves, they debuff me. And that is very hard to deal with. You have to have a counter to every debuff. And this brings up the point that I made, some time ago when we were fighting Cray, I believe, that when it comes to defenders or controllers or dominators or whatever, sometimes it's not the people with the healing that are the most useful, it's the people with the buffing that are the most useful. So it's just important to keep in mind when you're looking for like a defender for your group, you don't always need a healer. Sometimes you're better off with somebody that's debuffing the enemy so bad they can't even hit you. And you saw what that's like when I was fighting the Spectral Demons in the Circle of Thorns story arc. Right, what they were doing to me was debuffing me like crazy. Alright, so this is a large spawn here. But I don't have a problem with it because it's just minions and it's just freaks and kick their butts. Look at that, 3 shots. Crits. Even without crits, 3 shots is enough. Come on. Knock him down. Now that was a little rough, but not too bad. And this is the doorway that... Okay, we don't really need that because it goes back to the entrance. And we got Cray in here. And even, the Cray are higher level enemies. You don't even start getting them until the 30s. But even they really don't have the ability to give me a hard time the way the Circle did. Now, again, I make the point that that's in particular because my character is being debuffed in the ways that most harm her. It's like the Circle, those Circle guys have Kryptonite and I'm Superman, right? The freaks don't have my Kryptonite, so I can just crush them. And that Kryptonite is the defense debuffs and the accuracy debuffs. Right, my character makes her living hitting hard and fast, critting, pounding things, right? 2 hits and 3 hits and you're dead, focus chi, etc. And dodging the few attacks that you can send at me. But if you debuff my defenses so that I can't dodge, and you debuff my accuracy so that I can't hit, and you're resistant to my attacks, so that instead of going up against 3 guys and having them down in 9 hits, 9 hits later 2 of the 3 are still up, and they're swinging at me and I'm debuffed, that's what kills me, right? That's what gets my character. So this just shows you what a difference the different types of villains can make to these characters. And also depends on your character, right? A tanker might have a much harder time against freak shows or something because they keep rezzing and you don't do as much damage as fast. So it all just depends on, and it depends on whether you're energy melee, whether you're smashing energy, negative energy, psionic melee, stalker. Everybody's going to have a different experience against these different types of enemies. Okay, so Mr. Baker owes you his life, but he still won't testify to what he knows. Cray using Freak Show has hired thugs? Yep, and this is what I've been saying, that Cray are actually bad guys. There have been rumors, but still, that sheds some new light on the murdered reporter's notes. I'm going to have to go over them and read them again. And then she says, based on the new information that the Freak Show are working with the Cray, I've uncovered a pattern in their attacks. They make a lot of random hits, true, but they also consistently attack businesses owned by Cray rivals. So this is Microsoft attacking Apple with the Freak Show, basically. Those attacks are usually timed to ruin the competitor's ability to compete with Cray. Of course, the Freaks also raid Cray from time to time, so I can't be sure of anything. According to Schwartzwald's notes, the next Cray-sponsored Freak attack should come against a company called Unimax.com. Will you protect them from this attack? Of course I will. The Cray are evil, and I'm going to stop them. This is also in Atlas Park, which is quite a nice coincidence, so we're right here. And, got to switch to Super Jump, and we'll just head over 0.6 of a mile, so it'll be about 5 hops. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And we're right there. Back to Super Jump. And we'll head inside. Okay, so before we even open the door, we hear the malicious laughter of the Freak Show. So Stunner Freak and Juice Freak, no problem. So that's the difference, right? Never Nerva Spectral Demons, I'd still be fighting him. That Freak Show was taken out in 3 hits, and he's a lieutenant. Just wait for this guy, he didn't res, let's see. This is just one guy, so it doesn't matter if the other one reses. He just did. I heard him. Oh, yeah. He resed, but he didn't get up. What's going on? That's weird. Okay. There's an elevator, and nothing else on this level. So there are 3 technicians to rescue. And this is Unimax.com. So we're not helping Cray, which is good, because I don't like helping Cray, because I know they're bad guys. Alright, so we got an orange minion and a red lieutenant. It's simple enough. That takes care of him. 2 shots. And oh, by the way, it wasn't just the Spectral Demons, it was also those Earththorn casters that were throwing down the area effect debuff to my defense. And then the Spectral Demons were throwing down an area effect, or were throwing down a personal debuff to my accuracy. So there's a prisoner. We should be okay up here. Just gonna I didn't get him fast enough. Let's knock this guy down. Didn't knock him down. Wow, okay. I'm surprised we didn't aggro that guy. These guys here. He's gonna dull pain, unfortunately. This guy won't. Now where's the guy we knocked off? He didn't dull pain? I'm surprised. So we saved her, and she ran away. Or him. You're welcome. He's going to go through the elevator, and we continue. Let's see what we got here. Wow, there's a lot of these guys. Alright, so we're going to have to do a pull. It's just a few too many of them. Get out of here so you can see. Excellent, critical strikes. Let's see if we can do a crit with Eagle's Claw. Nope, but pounded him anyway. Now we can smack these guys. knockdown. Come on. There we go. Nice juicy damage mitigation from the knockdown. Critical strikes. Missed. Let's see, can we crit? Nope. And now this guy. Got him. Alright. We don't need that. Let's take a knee. This is the first one we've had to do in a Freak Show mission. Which isn't too bad. And that's just because there were two spawn, or there was a giant spawn here of 4. And they were orange. Alright. This is another big spawn. Yeah, so some of these are much larger than average spawns. Some of these guys will res. Doesn't matter, we're just gonna beat them up. I'm just gonna keep going. Some of them may res, but it's fine. I really should finish this guy. Okay, yeah, I'm used to switching targets when somebody gets KB'd, but for the Freak Show you really shouldn't do that because you want to get them before they dull pain. Like that. That technician's freed. Nobody resed? Oh, there. I knew someone was going to res. With that many Freak Shows, they have about like a 25 or 30% chance. So with, you know, 5 or 6 of them in a room, you should see at least one res. And there's some guys up here. Whoops. Come on back. There we go. There we are. 1, 2, 3. Oh, missed him. Come on, let's get him. There we go. That's what I like to see is a good knockdown. Nice, juicy knockdown. No, you don't. You're not getting away from me. Alright. So there's a doorway here, but let's check and make sure there's nobody up here. Whoops. There's nobody up here who is imprisoned or, like, hostage or whatever. Seems okay. Nobody up here. Anybody down here? No. Alright, so let's go ahead and go through the doorway. There'll probably be an elevator. It'll take us to the next level. Oh, guess not. This is an ending room, it looks like. Okay, 1, 2, oh, there's a guy, he's running away. Think you're gonna pull me? You're not pulling me. I'll wait. And down he goes. Now this guy, you gotta watch the guys above so that they don't see you. Okay, credit him. Yeah, I actually really like pounding on the Freak Shows, especially the tankers. They're tiring, right? They use up a lot of endurance, the tankers, but they're fun to pound on. I don't see any leaders in here, unfortunately. So, no tanks this time. Knockdown. And then this guy, 1, 2. Okay, so we free the last scientist, now we just have to defeat all the freaks. 1, 2, there we go. So if you hear me bang a key, it's the tab key to try to get it to finally select him. Because as they're rezzing, you can't target them. And that's, I guess, so you don't beat the crap out of them while they're still getting up. Of course, the fun part is they can beat the crap out of you when you're still getting up, if you take an awaken. And mission complete. Did we get any clues? Not really. There we go. We're at 7/10 of the way to the level already. Alright, so I just say because I wanted to like level right around here so I could use the architect to time how fast it was to get how fast it is to get through missions at -1 to +4. But anyway, it looks like you were right. Drek, the freak show leader, is hiring his men out as mercenaries to the Cray. So then she says, it certainly seems clear that Drek has been hiring the freak show out to Cray as mercenaries. I dug deeper into the notes Schwarzwald made before he died, and I found a mention of an upcoming meeting between the freak show and the council. I don't know what they're up to, but the freak show are maniacs. Working with the council, that'd be twice as bad. So we're going to have to stop this on the train. We're going to board the train. We'll go ahead and do this mission. Hopefully it won't be too long. It's just council. If it was like Circle of Thorns, I'd say no way. But since it's just council and freak show, and those last two missions didn't take us that long, we'll go ahead and do another mission. And we're maxed on salvage again. Always maxed on salvage. Alright. So now what we're trying to do is stop them, right? So hopefully it's not a defeat all on a giant map. Bust the lead negotiators and their crews. Alright, let's beat these guys up. So this is basically the Boomtown map. But it's, of course, instanced. And you only get a section of it. It's not quite as big as the whole Boomtown map. So one of the first things we're going to do, as you know I like to do this, is see what the limits of the map are. How big are we dealing with here? Okay. How big of a map are we dealing with? It looks pretty big to me. But we'll find out. You can see this is the edge, right? The blue screen, the blue force field. And then we got to go around this building. So we're going to see what the edges are, and then we're going to look in the middle. So I don't know who the lead negotiators are. My guess is there are two of them. One, probably two bosses or lieutenants. One for the council and one for the freak show. Man, look at the size of this map. This is insane. I'm surprised it's not a timed mission. Because oftentimes they do that here. Let's just see, are they in the back? No. Just some regular old council. Again, how much easier these guys are than, say, Earth Thorn casters and Spectral Demons. Not even bothering to put my combat jump on, because I don't need it. Alright, so this is the size. We now have sort of the perimeter. Kind of, we've got an idea of the size, and then we're going to go through the middle and see if we can find the negotiators. Oh wow, it gets even bigger. We don't have the perimeter, look at that. Wow. This is an enormous map. I guess I shouldn't have come in here at the end of this episode. But I don't actually think it's going to take that long, because we just got to look for the bosses. And then wherever I find the bosses, just sort of spiral outward, taking out whoever's around there, because it'll just be the guys in the immediate vicinity who will count. Alright guys, we're almost there. Oh, I have the feeling this is going to branch out again to the side here, to the bottom. Yep. And I just saw that because this was further south. So that is the size we're looking at. Now what I'm going to do is launch myself into the middle. There's an adjutant. I don't think he counts. But, I mean, we'll take people out as we encounter them, of course. So this guy does debuff, but let's compare him to the Nerval Spectral Demon Lords, right? Yeah, I'm going to take guys out as I go just because, I mean, it's one less thing to show up when I hit tab. We don't need this awaken. I really love martial arts. It plays so fast. It feels so solid, like you're really pounding these guys. And they go flying and everything. I love that. Alright, let's go ahead and do an AoE on these three. Crit. Crit. Look at that. Just absolutely pounded him. Let me put this on again. Let's see what we've got here. I'm looking toward the middle. I feel like that's probably where these guys are going to be. You don't take damage in here, do you? No. How about over this way? I mean, level logic suggests that they would be in this area, because you would like come up and go around and come up and go around, and they, you know, if you're going through it, just and see, this is the thing. I used to know where the boss spawns were on these maps, and I just don't remember. These guys will go down so fast. Look at that. Done. Can't do anything to me. Aggroed these guys, so we'll take them out. Don't slow me down, jerk. And the Night Wolf. Interestingly, this mission seems to actually be a legit +1 mission. There's an adjutant. I don't think he counts. Let's take him out since he's orange. Knockdown. There we go. Critical strike. That's good. Hit with this one. There we go. That is a nice crit. So we want to go south, I guess. Maybe go this way. Let's look over here. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I did not realize this was going to be so insanely long. These are huge missions. And if I'd known it was the Boomtown map, I just would have said, forget it. I'll do this in another episode. Yeah, I don't think there's anything over there, really. I think it's all in this area. There he is. Is he? No, that's just a Nightwolf champion. I saw this big boss looking thing and thought, oh, that's the guy here. But it's just a Nightwolf. Yeah, I appreciate the concept of doing these outdoor missions and making it more variety than the indoor missions. I appreciate that concept quite a bit, but again, along with like the escapes where you're leading somebody out to a door, the execution is not there. It's badly executed because it's just really silly. Literally everybody that I've ever played this game with, they don't go through the whole map. They just super jump, or stealth their way around the mission until they find the boss that you have to kill and take out the boss, because it's just too long and tedious. It's incredibly tedious. I'm looking for oranges at least, right? I don't see any oranges. So now we get into this really annoying thing where basically you have to take out everything on the map because you want to be able to hit tab and have the boss show up. Or at a minimum, if you defeated everybody else, the bosses will appear as red arrows. And I really don't want to have to do that. I wish I could remember on this map where the bosses tend to be. On the one outdoor map, as we've seen, I've done a couple times, there's a parking garage, and a lot of times the bosses are right near there. So if you can find the parking garage, which is usually like on this side, and you look in between, then you'll find them. But on this map, I don't remember. I could swear they were over here. Let's clean out this area. Well, this is going to end up being like an hour-long plus episode because I have no idea where the bosses are. So I just got to run around and try to find them. And this is where flight is a little bit easier because with super jump, you've always got to be paying attention to where you're landing, whereas flight, you can just fly in a straight line. You can just hit auto run basically, fly in a straight line, and just hit tab, which you really can't do with super jump. So I thought maybe back here, but it doesn't look like it. Love a crit. Keep missing, but I love a good crit. Took them both out there. Yeah, I thought they were like over here. But no. So like the outdoor idea is good, but the maps are just too big. And so it's just annoying because the maps are too big, there are too many spawns. It's like larger than a 5-floor office map by a lot, like by like an order of magnitude. And you know, so I love the idea I don't love how many of these things you have to fight, or how sort of thoroughly you have to crawl over the entire friggin' map. And if you can't tell, I enjoy the game, but I don't like map crawls. And this is a map crawl now. I just gotta go over every pixel of this map to try and find these two bosses and their guards. And to figure out what counts as the guards is going to be a real pain in the neck too. Alright, so we haven't been over here, have we? Nope. That's not them. Maybe in here? Nope. Just these guys. Just a Corleonis adjutant. Come on. By the way, when I say come on like that, I'm talking to myself, not the game. I just love how fast Crane Kick is recharging now. Alright, let's try back to this. Back to this. Could they be this close to the entrance? I can't imagine. But maybe. Nope. My memory of this is that they're on the street. But I could be wrong about that too. See, the problem with not defeating them is then I don't know where I've been either. Well, guys, I guess I'm gonna have to stop recording and I'll just keep going until I didn't find them. This could take like a couple more hours, literally. I'm not kidding. If I have to crawl over this entire map, so I don't want to make you watch it. There's nothing interesting here. It's all just council. There's no challenge at all at this point. So I'll bring you back when I find them.